Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Guess the Rank, now on the second channel. If you're new to Guess the Rank, the rules are very simple. We look at random online ranked games, and your job is to guess what their rank is. Now, before we get into this, I do have to go over something because this is going to be a little bit of a different one than usual. This one's actually being pre-recorded and not streamed. The reason why is because the way I normally structure Guess the Rank is in a way that I know I'm going to edit stuff down, edit out the filler, and make it more digestible for all of you on YouTube. However, I'm migrating Guess the Rank now to the second channel because after doing Guess the Rank for so long, by the way, if you're new, there's about 30 of these over on the main channel. Link will be in the description for that. I've come to the determination that editing Guess the Rank as much as I do is a little bit too time consuming for me to be able to do consistently. And so I'm moving on to the second channel here where I generally don't really edit anything so that I can alleviate that problem and get these videos up more frequently to all of you. But that also means I have to restructure how I do Guess the Rank in its entirety. So I'm pre-recording this one so I can try to get a feel, an idea of how exactly I want to do this going forward without having to worry about interacting with the chat and all of that stuff. So this one's going to be a little bit of a weird one because it's pre-recorded. We don't have the chat interaction and all of that, which I think is one of the highlights of Guess the Rank. My light just went out. Amazing. However, I think that this is going to be good to get an idea of the format moving forward. So anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get into game number one. This part's going to be edited because I have to plug my light back in. All right, we're in game number one. Let's see what we got. That wall of muscle can't stop me. Oh, we're already off to a great start. Hop kick, back one into back one counter. Amazing stuff. He's just going for the full 10 string. Steve has no idea. He wouldn't have blocked the low. The king doesn't know the full 10 string though. This is a game. This is a scramble. King gets the grab. Steve manages to break the throw. Incredible. King's just trying the hop kick off of the mid for some reason. Hey, you know, the Steve's got the weaves and the bobs. It's not the worst display I've ever seen. I've definitely seen worse. I don't know why the Steve is hitting so many buttons and constantly doing the cancel. The string is guaranteed. Okay, King got the hop kick there. Jab, 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 jab. Alley kick, the reset. You had 2,000 dude, he's just dying to alley kick. This is unbelievable. Please, there's no way you get hit by the third hit. He did the alley kicks 4 times and you get what? 1 + 1 + 1. Okay, he got a punish there. They're both in. This is one of the -1 gray health, by the -1 gray health. This is awful. I don't even know who's winning right now. No one was on a promo, notably. My thoughts are like, this can't be anything higher than orange, right? Oh my god, he's doing the blue stuff. He's doing the blue stuff. He's hitting rage out while doing the full string. And wait, did Steve play didn't even try to break anything, right? He like key charged. He's pressing the 3 button to try. He's pressing the 3 and 4 button to try breaking this. He's just letting the full chain grab go. He's pressing 3 and 4 to tech the grab. What is going on? That wall muscle can't stop me. Oh my god, help me. This is awful. Okay, I mean, yup. Hop kicked. Are we gonna, yup. There's the alley kicks, 1 HP. This is Steve's comeback. He actually got, oh my, there's no way the slow-mo. He actually got a good combo with the sidewall there. I think that was really optimal. Come on, man. You can't. The king doesn't even know the full 10 string. He's not doing the low. The wall, I'm pretty sure, guarantees the grab at the end. Dude, he's just doing the 10 string. Oh my god. This is disgusting. This is genuinely one of the worst things I've ever seen. This is terrible. Oh my god. Did Steve win? How did Steve win? What is going on? That was one of the longest games I've ever seen in my life. That Steve had no right to win that game, but at the same time, he had every right to win that game. What in the... How did Steve win? I don't... Okay, so... This is not a high-level game. Obviously. I mean, King's just doing 10 strings and alley kicks, and yes, you see those sometimes even at purple ranks, but not to this frequency. And you gotta give some credit to Steve for knowing the combos and some of his pokes and stuff. Like, he's consistently doing the same things after back one and such, but there's just no way in hell. This is orange. I can't believe it's anything high. Maybe it's Garyu. Maybe. But am I out of touch? There's no way. No, this is orange. This is orange. If I was to say A rank specifically, I would say Vanquisher. This was terrible. I don't even know what to make of this. It's just one of the worst games I've ever seen in Guess the Rank. Please do not be anything higher than red. I will lose my mind. What? What? I have tens of questions. The first one on my mind: how are you Mighty Ruler and you're breaking chain grabs with 3 and 4? How do you not block alley kicks? How does King do his 10 string and get away with it at Flame Ruler? He's getting away with throwing out these random ass hop kicks with his if anyone watching this got that, congratulations, you have more brain rot than me. And if you're in purple rank as well, seek help. I'm about to cry with how bad that was. Let's just go to the next. So I don't even want to think. I mean, I have more questions. I have more things that come to mind when it comes to that game and how someone not even like skill wise, but with as much experience as they would have with the game, they get the flame ruler, how things in that game happen. Like, again, notably breaking chain grabs with 3. Go next one. Hopefully this one's going to be a little bit better. I'm getting a baseline though. I haven't done Guess the Rank in 2 months. I don't know what ranks look like right now. If that is the standard purple, oh my god, it's another Steve. Then I don't know. Okay. Well, that's a start. He didn't get the full wall carry, but that's fine. The counter hit, Raven drops the combo. The Shoryuken! Okay, he's got the full comp. Never mind, he dropped it. Still, I mean, they're not playing too bad, though. 1-1-2 going into the weave. The Raven trying the jab punish that, too, is completely reasonable. Nice whiff punish. Oh! The recognition of the situation there and doing the backswing was really smart. Oh, he didn't quite get the full thing. He's got the right idea, but it's not quite there, right? That was good, though. My initial impression is that this is probably blue. They're not playing bad at all. I'd put it at Raijin right now. Okay, this is the plus strings. Nice power crush to get through there. That was really smart. That is the counterplay that you do. Okay, that was a great duck. Ooh, that's minus 18. Still, though. Oh, he didn't duck the high and then got hit by the third hit. Jab. Okay, that's perfectly fine. While running 2. He's crouch dashing. What a block and the parry, the recognition. All right, yeah, these guys aren't bad. I'd say Kishin. This seems like a pretty solid blue game. There are definitely things that I'm messing up that are very fundamental that put me off of saying anything higher, particularly with the combos and the wall combos and just the situational awareness on that front. But how they're playing the characters is actually pretty damn strong. This is like the polar opposite of the last game. The while running 2s. I mean, that was a great jab check, you know? Like, that is what you do. I would have parried here if I was the Raven personally, but parry. Now I get grabbed and I die. The optimal punish there. Oh, these guys are really good. Yeah, I'd definitely say Kishin. What up, dude? What is... Okay, maybe this is Tekken King. The backflip into unblockable. That is wild. This Raven player is unhinged. Nice whiff punish. Wow, the 4-4. Getting all the way to the wall here. Boop, boop, boop. Very nice. The Aqua Spider getting the plus frames. Look at all this pressure. And the parry. That's a punish because he did the follow-up. Very nicely done. And the Raven won. He didn't demote. Very nice stuff. Really good. Man, this is... You know, I think I got caught up a little bit in the beginning because they were both dropping their combos, but how they were playing fundamentally was definitely at least like Tekken Emperor level. And even then, I would say that the Ravens, at least the Ravens' knowledge of the matchup and his awareness of like what the Steve is doing and his ability to counter the stuff so well, along with punish it, I would almost think that maybe... Especially, and the default outfit is also throwing me for a loop on this, granted, that he's, like, at least a Tekken god on a second character. I think maybe I'm overthinking a couple of the mistakes in here, and maybe this is around, like... God, man, it's so hard, because... I want to say Kishin Bushin because I'm looking at the mistakes and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's something people would do at Tekken Emperor. But at the same time, outside of those 2 or 3 things, they played like at least Tekken Emperors. I'm going to say Tekken Emperor. Somewhere my intuition is telling me that it's that, even though logically I think that it could be a bit lower. So anyway, if you all got your guesses in, let's take a look and see. I'm really curious on this one, too. I really want to know what this is. Let's see. I swear to God, if this is purple rank, by the way, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. What are you doing to me? What have you done to me? What is this? What is this, a sick joke? You're out of your goddamn mind. You can't tell me that this... Look at the screen, Bear. You're going to tell me that this is the same rank as that goddamn King player doing alley kicks and 10 strings? You're telling me this is the same? You're out of your mind. You're crazy. How? How? I was right. My initial guess was Blue Ring Raijin, and that was correct. Like, optimal punish on Sonic Fang. Good, like, strong combos. Competent plays. Like, actively recognizing the Steve strings and parrying them. The recognition as well in that one instance where he switched sides and then did the backswing blow. I'm talking more of the Raven specifically. But, like... How? This Steve is playing against that King player. This Steve is the same rank as that King player. This is insane. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on anymore. This isn't real. This is a lie. This is a farce. This is a ruse. You can't tell me that these 2 players are on the same level as the last 2 players. I'm just looking at their profile just to look and see. Are they on a secondary? The main is Hwoarang at Raijin, but still. The Raven player, again, I was focusing a lot on him, but I felt like he was the better player of the two. That's his main, man. His main is Sesujin. There's no way a Raven... Like, I play against Tekken King Raven players that are worse than this guy. He's insane. This guy should be at minimum Tekken King. Minimum. Maybe Korean players are just better. Maybe people in Korea do have a harder time in rank, and the average Korean Sesujin is... Oh, let's not get into all of that. All right. I think I forgot the HUD. But yeah, let's fix this and then go into game 3. Good God, man. Really, like, regardless of anything, really strong players, right? And this just goes to show, you know, if any of you are getting caught up in, like, what your rank is and you're, like, upset because maybe you're only, like, Raijin or Kishin, and you hear these people, these morons that are saying, like, you're not good until you're, like, Tekken God or whatever. Look at these guys as examples, man. That's not true. What your rank, the PNG that you have, isn't indicative of your actual level at the game. It's how you play the game. It's like who you can compete with, how well that you do, like the mistakes you do and don't make. And also your skill has nothing to do with your self-worth. So don't get upset about it, you know? There are really strong players at every rank. They're like doing guess the rank. I've seen people that are, you know, around like purple ranks that I've looked at and gone, oh my God, this guy should be Tekken God. He's insane. He has so much potential. So never get yourself down about that stuff. Anyway, let's go into game number 3. Ooh, anticipation is killing me. Same it's another Steve. Oh, come on. Oops, all Steve. He didn't get... That's a very common step for Steve. He didn't launch the low, but that's fine. It happens. I don't do that sometimes. I mean, that was a good tech roll. I appreciate the single jab punish as well, just to stop him from being able to do anything. Nice duck. All right, this is higher than purple. I see Hwoarang's use that move at Tekken King, and people don't duck it. Nice low. Nicely done. Using your turn to get a mix-up instead of trying to enforce wall pressure when he's about to die, it's really smart. Minus 14. Oh, man, you can Sonic Fang that. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, he didn't get the full combo. All right, they're both in heat now. The backswing to avoid that counter hit. Nice. Excellent duck there. He's really good about blocking those lows. He's playing very well. These guys are really good. This is not a really good game that's going to be Sesujin somehow because, you know, the old saying, it's always blue. Sonic Fang whiffs. Nice block. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, he's really good about blocking those lows. I appreciate the attempt. He's not launching that low, though, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is a Kishin game. I know I said that about the last one, and I was kind of right. But I think that this is pretty damn solid. Nice duck under it. He didn't get the punish, but I appreciate him being hesitant on committing to the punish there. Yeah, Steve just walked all over him. I mean, that was a 3-0. Hwoarang had no chance. So this is a little bit weird because the Steve obviously played extremely well. Very good fundamental knowledge, good knowledge of the matchup. And I think that the Hwoarang played in a way that's indicative of him being blue ranks, because a lot of the tools and strategies that Hwoarang used there is something that you see a lot of Hwoarangs do between like Sesujin and Tekken King, even Tekken Emperor to some extent. So, I think that's really the tell here that this is going to be somewhere in blue. I would guess Kishin. I think that's a pretty safe bet. It's the coward's bet, but I think that if I was to pinpoint on one exact rank, I would say Kishin. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think this is a cut and dry one, though. It's not much to talk about. There's not much to say. So if you all have your predictions in, let's take a look and see what game number 3 is. Yeah, it was Raijin. I mean, this is just one of those games that was super solid blue. Sometimes you see these games where two players play and you know exactly that they're blue. It's a guess the rank special. Blue can be one of the easiest ranks to find because... Oh, let me take a drink of my water. Sorry, I've been talking for 20 minutes and I'm getting a little bit tired. But there's just this certain gameplay style. Players have this certain way that they play at blue ranks where you can tell. It's the blue rank play style. That's all I can really say about it, I guess. Anyway, I'm sure you get what I mean. Let's go to game number 4 here. Win. Hopefully it's not Steve. It's an Huarong and a Leo. Okay. A little bit of variety. The Leo is on a demotion. That's Huarong. This could be literally any rank. The fact he's doing that immediately in the heat dash, though, indicates to me that this is not high rank. Yeah, like, this is why I was talking about with the last game, right? The Huarong players just... They do a lot of the same gimmicks and flow shots. Even if they don't do all of them, they have ones that they do that just work. And now you can see that this game, because Huarong is doing all of this bullshit, like you see, that's why I was talking about last game. Now the Leo is just like, okay, I have to answer this with buttons, see? And this is one of the problems. People tell me, like, Seth, I'm stuck at, like, purple ranks, or I'm stuck at blue ranks, or I'm trying to get to Tekken King. What tips can you give me? Stop hitting so many buttons. Because you see all of that damage that Huarong just took here was because he hit a button. Or, sorry, that Leo took was because he hit a button and then got launched with back 3. And then got counter hit there, right? Like, this is a prime example of why I tell players at every rank, I mean, including at Tekken God sometimes, that you need to just stop hitting buttons. Look how much the Leo's getting hit because they're hitting buttons. I think that this is Mighty Ruler. Like, they have combos, and they have... Ah, man, I mean, this could be Fujin. Because they do have combos. I think I'm going to say Battle Ruler on this. This is one of those where it's really on the edge, and it comes down to my ignorance of what ranks look like nowadays. But this whole play style of using offense as defense is something that you see all the time in, like, middle to high purple and low blue. I mean, you see it at all ranks, but to this extent, like, you see how, again, the Leo's trying to attack there as his defense, right? The idea is that we use... Wow, what a conversion. That's crazy. Very nicely done. And the reset. The idea is that, like, we don't want to deal with all of this going on. We don't want to deal with, like, the Huarong pressing buttons against us because we don't know how to defend. So we press buttons to stop him from being able to press buttons, but then that just opens us up to more mix-ups, and that gets us killed. We're on final round, so we'll see how this goes, but yeah, this is... They have the fundamentals to know, like, when they, like, that they feel like they should be hitting buttons, and again, he just got killed because of that counter hit launcher. And they, again, they do have the combos and everything, too. Like, look at that wall-to-wall carry. That was very nice. But they don't have the fundamentals. Wow, that grab should have been a punish. And then wall splats, too. That was a really smart option from Leo. Okay, heat engager. We might be back in it. Nice mid. Boop, boop. Are we going to Rage Eye? No. This is an intense final round. Oh my god, the whiff. The Huarong's nerves are getting to him. Leo's on the demotion, by the way. Dude, what a step. Oh my god. That was a great sidestep. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna stick to what I said. I think that this is... I'm going to say Battle Ruler. It could be Fujin, so I'm giving myself a little bit of room by saying Battle Ruler. I just think back to that King game and the King and Steve game and the Raven and Steve game, and I think, like, are they on that same, around that same point? Maybe. I don't think that they're much higher, though. If this is, like, Bushin or something, I'm going to cry. I can see it being a bit lower too, but the fact that they have combos and stuff and they're hitting buttons with a purpose, and you know, you have the Hwoarang whiff punishing and stuff. You know what? I'm gonna say it's Fujin. So if you all have your guesses in. No. Oh, no, 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 no. Guys. Listen. I am beyond disappointed. To everyone who asks me, Seth, I'm trying to get to Tekken King and I can't quite get there. What do I do? Stop hitting buttons! For God's sake! What? How? I don't, like, I think that all this does is prove how out of touch I am with the current ranked ecosystem. This is unbelievable to me that this is Tekken King, especially when you compare it again to the Raven and Steve game. The Raven and Steve game was so good because the Raven like was punishing things, right? He was doing things with they weren't just hitting buttons all the time. I mean, I can kind of see from the Hwoarang because the Hwoarang's just doing stuff that works and he had good whiff punishment and stuff like that. But damn, man, the fact that the Leo was attacking into like the counter hit jab while Hwoarang wasn't heat and not ducking the Southpaw, I think it's 4-3, the mid-high, and like attacking into it when he's minus 14 on block there, and all of this stuff is insane. And like I said, you saw the switch in how he was playing. Instead of trying to like play defensively, get an understanding of like what the Hwoarang was doing, how to counter it or anything, he just said, nah, I'm going to hit buttons because I don't know what to do. I'm not going to try figuring out what to do, and I'm just going to use my offense as my defense, and that's why he lost. That's crazy. I know that Hwoarang is one of those characters where, you know, matchup knowledge is a factor, but when the problem is fundamentally you shouldn't be diving into this like habit of just hitting buttons when you don't know or are afraid to defend against your opponent. That was crazy. That was insane. Especially when you compare it to, again, the last game with the Steve versus Hwoarang. Like, it's a night and day difference between the two. The Steve, like, playing so well fundamentally, blocking the lows while getting good punishment. It's wild how you can look at, and no offense to the people that are playing, of course, it's just merely my observation on the ranked system, but it's crazy how this game system is structured in a way where you can get players who are Tekken King and they objectively play weaker than Raijins in like the same matchup. And I, you know, it's like I have a lot of qualms with ranked, and there's a big reason why I don't play ranked, and it's because it kind of incentivizes this sort of play style of just like hit buttons and don't focus on defense, because then you're at risk of losing, so you don't learn. But Christ almighty, that was a rough one. That was like, again, I can see it, but Jesus Christ, Tekken King is wild. All right. And then for our last game for today, for this weird recorded guest rank, also sorry, my mic is far away so you can barely hear me. Game number 5 here. Hopefully this is a little bit more reasonable than the other games, but wow, the way that ranks have changed over the past couple of months since I last did this is wild. I've only been right about one of them. Hopefully I can get another one. Clive versus Kazuya to end it out here. They're just playing neutral. No punish on forward 3 there. Mine's 14, by the way. Yeah, I mean, he tried picking up. At least he didn't finish it. Man, neither of these players are punishing anything. Nice sidestep on the down 2. They're both playing, like, really well, fundamentally. Oh, he didn't get the hit confirm. Man, I hate when this game does stuff like that. Nice duck. Again, they're not getting punishes, but in a lot of ways, that's actually... Wow, he wouldn't back turn. In a lot of ways, that's actually kind of a good thing, because it's the polar opposite of what we were seeing with the last game. We're seeing them just try to be patient, work out what their opponent is doing, right? Play very slowly. This is very much like a Korean play style, right? Yep, so we're going in with the house sweep now, just trying to poke. I mean, I would place these guys at least Tekken King. The problem is that they're not punishing anything. Like, the Kazuya isn't punishing stuff like forward 1+2 or forward 3. The Clive isn't punishing down forward 2, and that makes me a little bit skeptical of their rank. But, I mean... Like, you look at this, they have the combos and everything, and if there's one thing that I've learned so far from watching these games, it's that if they have combos, they're at least blue. If I've learned anything from this, combos equal blue. Okay, the Kazuya got the punish that time. And, you know, it's one thing if one player isn't punishing, but it's the fact that both of them aren't. Yeah, the Kazuya did the Waifu there, and it baited out the Rage Art. It's game point here for Kazuya. Nice electric. Back two. Trying to back up, trying to get that whiff punish. Goes for the mid. Just playing it cautiously. Forward two. Gets blocked. Going for the mid once again. No whiff punish. Trying to get those low pokes in. Down 2. Or down 1. My bad. The Wild Rising 3. Less pushback now. It got in there. Forward 1+2. Kazuya goes for the tsunami kick, but it's -12, not 13. Gets the big count in from forward 1+2. Is Clive going to be able to come back here? Kazuya with the heat burst. Sidestep 2-1. Goes in the heat. Gets the grab. This is going to look like a big comeback here. Heat's still available. Still has the heat. Oh, what a block. There you go. And Clive's going to get around on the board. 1-2 here. Clive still has a chance to come back. Again, just trying to feel each other out. Wild Rising 3, the step block is able to stop it. Counter hit on the low. Clive tried whiff punishing. Big sidestep on the house sweeping. Clive's in there. Kazuya did try breaking, but he was late. Also tried breaking the correct throw. Important to know. He didn't just hit 1 and 2. He hit the 1 button specifically. There's the break. Very nice. Very clean grab breaks as well from the Kazuya. Big sidestep there. Didn't quite get the punish. Whiff punish from the Clive. Is this going to go to final round? -11. Oh, the last hit, the wall combo. He doesn't quite get it, though. You have to hit 1 there in order to get the full combo. That would have killed. Second hit, tsunami kick, whiffs, but no punish. Nice duck under the grab. Down forward 1 into down 1. Very good small Tekken. This guy has watched these videos. Final round now. Clive with the comeback. How's this going to go? Waifu in the forward 2, speeding it up a little bit. No punish on the forward 3 again, but that's fine. Kazuya's getting in there. Immediate heat dash, breaking the wall. This is going to be a big cotton. Never mind. Never mind. He didn't even do his screw there. Clive now has the wall. Again, nice throw breaks from the Kazuya. 1-1-2, no punish on 1-1-2. Oh no. House sweep. Crouch dash 1+2. Big whiff. Tried whiff punishing with electric. Not enough. Both of them out of heat now. Sidestep 1+2. Kazuya with the health lead. Back for the keep out. Little pokes from Clive. Health is now... Well, it's not even. Clive actually definitively has the health lead. Back to again. Big grab. Nice grab break. Clean grab break as well from the Clive. Time's running out, 10 seconds, and that's going to do a very nice block from the Clive on the health sweep. What a good final game to end off on. This was solid. Yeah, like, I know if I was streaming this, chat would be like, but Seth, they're Fujin because they weren't punishing anything. I mean, compare this to most of the games that we've seen. Calm and collected, not pushing offense all the time, trying to play good defense, had good blocks on the low, knew when to play small Tekken and big Tekken, just doing the things that worked. Like, this is, I think that these are two Korean players that are very strong. I would say Tekken King. I think that this is a pretty solid game. I think they both played well. Yes, there's punishment stuff that they don't know, and yes, I don't think that someone who's going to be Tekken God isn't going to be punishing like Kazuya's down 4-2 or like 1-1-2 at all, and I don't think that Tekken God Kazuya isn't going to be punishing like forward 3 and forward 1+2. Again, maybe I'm out of touch, but I think that they were both playing really well. They both didn't have a lot of the problems I see with players that are like below Tekken King, like what we saw with the last game, where they're just trying to use their buttons as defense. Instead, they played good fundamentals, they played good neutral, they played good defense. They just played very well fundamentally, but didn't necessarily play that well against their opponent's character. So I'm gonna say Tekken King. I feel pretty confident about it. And if you all have your guesses in, the final game of this rendition of Guess the Rank. Oh boy. What is it? All right, Clive's loving mom. All right, I think that all we were able to determine from this rendition of Guess the Rank is that 1 is always blue as usual, but 2 ranks literally don't matter. This is... I do not think I have had an episode of Guess the Rank where I have been as wrong as I have been in this one. This is... I'm not even surprised anymore. Well, I am surprised. I'm not shocked anymore. This is like, these are 2 Raijins that, and these might have been the best players today. It was either these guys or the Raven and Steve game. But this is, I don't know what to make of this. There is such a large amount of variance now in ranks based solely on this Guess the Rank that I don't know what to believe anymore. I was right about them being at least blue ranks if they have combos, but geez, man, the way that they play, like, and the other thing is too, I get it. I think that if this was the first game that I saw today, then I would say Raijin. But when you compare these guys against some of the other players that we've seen today, again, no offense to them, I'm just making an observation for the commentary aspect of the show. It's wild that you have these guys at Raijin and then you have like other players that just play worse fundamentally and they play worse neutral than these guys. And I think that's a testament to both of these players' potential, and the fact that they were both playing on that sort of plane as well is what gets me. If one of them was playing that way, then I think Raijin would be a little bit easier to deduce, but damn, for both of them to be Raijin and play like this, so different fundamentally than what we've seen otherwise today, it's absolutely wild. And again, I think that this whole thing is a testament that you shouldn't really worry too much about your rank, you know? What really matters is how you play, what you learn, what you know about the game, and you know, how you're able to execute that and perform and learn, and your willingness to learn, your attitude and all of that stuff. And with how wild the fluctuations in rank here are, I mean, like, both of these players could very easily be Tekken Emperor from what I've seen. And, you know, a lot of it just comes down to, like, matchup knowledge, keeping calm under pressure when the opponent's hitting a lot of buttons and stuff like that. And it also just goes to show there's such a wide range of different skills that go into playing this game at even a blue rank, and that's why there's not just one thing that's going to immediately make you better at the game or rank up. It all comes down to, like, you and, like, what your own personal strengths and weaknesses are. And you know, that's hard. It's hard to figure all of that stuff out, and it's hard to figure out how to, like, improve on that stuff. But yeah, it just goes to show that, again, there's a whole wide range of skill sets. There's a wide range of things that you can improve on, or maybe even you're better at than people who are Tekken God, even if you're Fujin. And it's just about figuring those out and addressing those things. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this rendition of Guess the Rank. Oops, I started the game. I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, this is a different format from how it's normally done. So if you stick around for more Guess the Rank in the future, then the format's obviously going to be different, but I hope you enjoy it just the same. And hey, if you want to see one of our other series sort of like this, we have low rank Tekken that's going to be over here, and then on this side of the screen we're going to have Guess the Rank on the main channel if you want to see more of this. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.